back on ASEAN Challenge, we head over to ASEAN Interview for some updates.
Welcome to the ASEAN Interview with me, Lisa Alisa Sithiwong, in which today we are here at the Aviation Institute of Rangsit University. We'll be talking to Air Marshal Professor Poonlarp Iamchareon, the Associate Dean of Student Affairs of the Aviation Institute, Rangsit University. สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีครับ
So today we'll be talking a little bit about the aviation industry in the whole ASEAN region. As we know that, of course, we're now entering into the AEC, and of course, various businesses and as well as industries are being affected by it. Can I first ask you, what is your overall opinion about the aviation industry in the ASEAN as a whole?
First, we have to look back about 10 years or 20 years. As the traveling today is booming, and the Middle East country, they expand their fleet and expand their route to Thailand or to ASEAN, and they need more pilots. Also here in this region, we also expand this fleet and expand the aviation industry, and we need about the experts said about 200,000 of pilots in the next 10 to 20 years. But now in Thailand we have only 3,000 pilots, and they are most of all in the Thai International Airways. But in the last 10 years, as the Middle East Airlines, they expand their fleet, and many pilots decide to go overseas and work over there, and that's come to the problem of lack of pilots now.
So right now, the expansion of the aviation industry is expanding very fast due to AEC and also from the Middle East. And at the moment, you're saying that there's a very big lack or shortage of pilots these days. Now, there's this one concept about open skies or single market policy. Can you tell us a little bit about that? And does that affect its expansion? Why is it expanding so much? Does it have an effect from the open skies or one market policy?
Oh yes, this open sky has a very big impact to us, because in Thailand there are only 3,000 pilots are active now, like I said before. But every year we can only 300 pilot training, so they can go into this business. And another country, they also have a pilot training program, but here in Thailand is more effective than another country. Just like in China, they expand their fleet very rapidly, but the pilot training school is only a few. We also have only a few pilot training school or academy, but these can train the pilot about 300 pilots per year, and we require about more than 500 per year, and this is come to the lack of pilot. But actually, the pilot who are active flying a plane or experienced pilot, they have enough. But after expanding the business, many pilots go to overseas, go to the Middle East, and some low-cost airline was established, and so that the low-cost airline, if they establish, they got to have a complete or perfect pilot and experienced co-pilot. and they have to offer a higher salary than the company they worked before, and this is not to resist.
So are there any policies or methods in order to help to assist with the lack of supply in pilots, or any policies to help each airlines be more competitive?
It is very good to say that if all airlines are able to train their pilot themselves, it is very good, and this problem will not there. But just only a few airlines can or are ready to train their pilot themselves, just like Thai International or Asia or Bangkok Airways. And if the government help by reducing cost of training, because cost of training is very high.
Yes.
For example, for a pilot training program, it costs about 2.8 million baht, and not everyone can afford it.
For the whole course?
For the whole course, yes.
In order to become a pilot, you have to have 2.8 million for the course.
Yes.
It's actually quite high.
If the government help by reducing this cost, and we can train more pilot and more students who are able to be a pilot can come to be trained.
What about other ASEAN countries? Are they also facing a shortage in pilots as well?
Actually, they also have a pilot training institute, but they may offer a higher salary, and Thai pilots are very high qualities of pilots, so they cannot deny a higher salary. And these airlines, foreign airline, will not have the crisis just like in Thailand.
So what about you mentioned low-cost airlines, and there's also a kind of a demand for professional pilots with higher pay, but then again, low-cost airlines need to save cost. How do they work about this, and what is their situation at the moment now?
If low-cost airline is established, it's simply know that they have to get the experienced pilot and experienced co-pilot, so that they can make money and make profit immediately. And the way they can do it by offering a higher salary from another airlines, just like Thai International or Asia or Bangkok Airways. Yeah. And if they becomes a pilot from another airline will short of pilot.
Yes.
Also. And this number of pilots are all in the same cycle. And if they don't do anything by training new pilots or let the new pilots or the junior pilot to go in this business, this crisis will also remain there.
So therefore, you say that because they remain in the same cycle here, big airlines try to recruit, low-cost airlines try to recruit these professional pilots. Is there a problem within the recruitment sector of the aviation industry? Are people finding it hard to find jobs as new pilots as well?
Yes, for new pilots, they will get very difficult because some airlines said that for the new pilot, they require about 500 flight hours. And the new pilot who finish from the flying institute,
they don't have that
they
yet.
Don't have, they have only 200 hours. And where can they get this experienced pilot with 500 hours? From the Air Force. From the Air Force, because the Air Force, the pilot in the Air Force, they fly planes about 5 years, and they accumulate fly hours more than 500. and therefore this is the thing lead to lack of pilot in the Air Force too.
Okay, so basically we need to recruit, we need to have more people interested in becoming pilots, and we need to have more opportunities for them to be able to become professional pilots as well. Now, if we talk about the aviation industry and training schools, within the ASEAN region, are there a lot of training schools?
In ASEAN, there are a lot of training schools. For example, in Malaysia or in Langkawi and Indonesia. But to work here in Thai Airways, they require bachelor degrees. It is another thing than another airlines. And I think to become these young people to be a pilot in the aircraft industry, they have to lower the requirement about from 500 hours flights out to 200 flight hours, so that meet the requirement for the young pilots or junior pilot.
And what about in Thailand? Is there a lot of aviation institutes?
We have about 5 or 6 aviation institutes, but the most famous here is only 2. One is the Department of Civil Aviation Center, and second is Bangkok Aviation Center. But altogether of them, they can only train a new pilot or young junior pilot about 300 to 350 a year.
So do you think it would be possible to have more institutes emerging in order to create more pilots in the future?
It is very good if we can do that, but with helping of the government, because to establish a new pilot training institute, we need a lot of money. Not only the airplane, also the instructor. The instructor now is lack too, because some instructor go to overseas or to this airlines here in Thailand, because they have an opportunity and better salary. And this, if the government doesn't do anything, this problem will be there, and with helping from the government, we can do it better, and this problem will be permanently solved.
And we're here at the Aviation Institute, actually, of Rangsit University. So you mentioned that there are a total of 5 altogether in Thailand. This is one of them.
This is one of them, but we have the MOU with 3 institutes. One is Bangkok Aviation Center. Second is the Civil Aviation Center, and 2 in aboard in Canada. This is Gander Flight Training School, and the second in America, in Florida, is Aviation. And each year we send about 8 students to Aviation and 8 young students to Canada, and about 8 to Civil Aviation Center, and the rest they have to be trained in Bangkok Aviation Center. It is the first MOU with our university.
How long has this been established for, the aviation center here?
I would like to thank our president of the Rangsit University, Dr. Atit Urairat, and the dean of the aviation center, Chief Marshal Khatati Kunchara. They acknowledge that this business will expand rapidly, and so they established the aviation center since 2006. Beginning
10
with
years.
yes, 10 years. This year is the 10th year anniversary.
Wow. All right. Well, today we got to know a lot about the aviation industry, especially in terms of the shortage of pilots within the ASEAN region and in Thailand as a whole as well. And plus, we got to know a little bit about the Aviation Center here at Rangsit University. Thank you very much, Air Marshal Professor Poonlarp, for this very lively conversation. ขอบคุณค่ะ
สวัสดีครับ
Today I'm here with one of the recently graduated students. Her name is พัทรานิช หานุพงศ์ปกรณ์ สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีค่ะ
First of all, can you tell me a little bit about how you came to study here?
Okay, at first I graduated from international school, ASEAN International School, and then I know this Aviation Institute from my elder brother. Like he introduced me that, like here is the choice. Like if you want to be a pilot, so you can come and try to apply and come to interview.
So why did you want to become a pilot? What made you? Do you have a dream to become a pilot?
Yeah, sort of. Like at first, I just like think it in my mind that how great is it if I would have such an opportunity to like take the passengers to their destination, like to like the passengers, they would go travel to overseas for like business, or maybe some people like they want to go to see their love, their families. Some go to for education and stuff. So I would be like the person who would deliver those
be
people
able to take them to their loved ones over there.
Right.
So for the people, in your case, you went to an international school. Do you have to go to an international school? Do you have to, I believe like in some courses there you need to take a science course, or you need to be in arts and literature. Is there any specifications or requirements of that entering into the training school here?
Okay. The school I went to is an American school, which is they're not
There's
like
no,
courses.
Yeah, there's no courses.
So they mostly have like elective classes. So I always choose like art and business and psychology. Yeah, mostly. So it's not like in Thai program.
But however, for the requirements to enter into the Aviation Institute, is there any requirements like that?
No,
Not
in
at
here,
all.
yeah, from Rangsit Aviation Institute, they don't require this kind of stuff.
But are there any requirements at all?
They require if you graduate grade 12 or year 12, and you like able to like maybe read in English and like you know English a bit. Yes, and yeah, here you can come.
The training here, is the training, the teaching in English or in Thai?
They have textbooks in English, but the teacher will teach you in Thai.
So basically, you should have some English knowledge, be able to understand some terms as well. All right, how about the enrollment process? Okay, so you became interested, you applied for it. What next? Do you have to go through examination or interview?
Interview. Yes, and there are around three to four teachers. They will ask me some questions, a little bit of physics, like the beginning of physics and math, and they would check your, I don't know how to say, like, can I talk it in Thai? บอดสีอะค่ะ
Okay, so they check if you're colorblind.
Yeah, colorblind.
So they do some physical checkup as well, or just colorblind only?
You got to have the doctor note that your health is well, and that's all.
And then once you pass the interview, you can come and study here.
Yes.
And what's the course like here? Is it 4 years?
Yes, it's a 4 years program. In year 1 and 2, you will have academic classes here in the campus, and in year 3 and 4, you would go to the flight training school, which is called Bangkok Aviation Center.
So not located here?
Nope. It's located in Rangsit Klong 15, which is in Nakhon Nayok.
Which is outside of Bangkok area. Right. And so for 4 years, you learn 2 years in terms of theory, right, as you said, and then...
Such as aerodynamics, linear algebra, biology and then stuff.
It sounds like you need to know a lot of like physics and science but you said you said that you always took electives in arts and business.
Right.
So how did you feel about learning? New start.
Yeah.
So therefore you don't have to have a science background. You can come as long as you have the passion for it.
True.
And what about actual flying? Do you get to actually fly a plane in this course?
Yes.
When do you get to fly a plane?
When we go to a flight training school.
And then you get to, about what year is that?
3.
About year 3 you get to. How did you feel the first time you were flying?
It was like, oh my god, why it's so hard for the first flight, and then I get too used to it like in a time, and in the course, in the first like how to say, in the first 13 flights we will fly to learn like to fly solo. Fly solo.
So flying by yourself, meaning flying by yourself.
Sure.
So it seems like a very exciting experience. What would you say that was the best part about learning here?
The best part, what I get is discipline. I think like it's the key that I learned from it, that if I like have the discipline, like punctuality and stuff, and passions, I will be able to do anything, not only to fly an airplane, but in everything in my life.
So what would you say would make a good student or a good pilot here?
Oh, pardon me? What's your question?
What requirements would you say would make a good student or a pilot?
Okay, like here we got the motto, our own motto. First is you have to have a good personality, strength, discipline, eager to learn, and ethic.
And what other skills do you think a good pilot needs to have?
The skills, we have to do so many things at the same time. So we have to be good at the task. Like there are 5 tasks. First is seeing, like we have to look around when we fly an airplane. Second is hearing, because you have to hear and what the air traffic controller or the pilot or like who would sit beside you. We call the co-pilot or captain, the commander, like what they say to me, to us. The third is talking, like we have to talk to the air traffic controller, and we also have to talk to the co-pilot also. And fourth is doing like practical, like we have to fly an airplane and stuff and put to the bottom and everything. And the last one is thinking, we have to plan ahead what to do next.
Because of course you're like you said, your job will become taking passengers from one place to another, so you're taking care of so many lives back there. So you have to be able to think ahead and plan. And I think that, I'm not sure, but is it true that you'll have to be able to think quickly as well in case some emergency happens? You know, how does the training school here help you with that?
From experience.
From experience,
Like, and also like the knowledge we got, like we have to know if this happened, what would you do next. So we have to learn the characteristic of the aircraft that we fly.
Okay. So now you are recently graduated student. What are your plans next?
So of course, go to be a commercial airline pilot.
Do you have any long-term goals? Like, what is the career path for a pilot? Like, especially a commercial pilot. What is the career path?
The career path is, at first I have to be a junior co-pilot, right? And it's gonna take around maybe 4 to 5 years to gain hours, flying off hours, to have around 4,000 to 4,500 hours, and then the co-pilot will take an exams and stuff to be a captain, the commander of the.
All right. Well, I wish
so
you very good luck with that. Now, taking a look a little bit at the ASEAN region, are there a lot of pilot schools in the ASEAN region?
There are. Like I can say in every country in ASEAN they have the flight school in their country.
Would you say they're similar to this one here or different?
Yes, it's not gonna different because every flight school they are belong to ICAO standard.
Okay, so they have
all same standard. Right.
Worldwide standards that they need to follow
Yes.
anyways. All right, lastly, I believe that there may be some of our viewers or a lot of people, young people especially, kids who have dreams that want to become pilots when they grow older. Is there any advice or would you like to say anything to these people?
So to who is interested in the pilot, to be a pilot or pilot career, or anyone who really have passions to come and willing to do this job. So please come and try. Yes.
Alright และสุดท้ายแล้วค่ะอยากจะให้ฝากถึงtraining school ตรงนี้ของมอลังสิตนะคะให้กับคนที่สนใจด้านการบิน
ค่ะก็สำหรับใครที่สนใจนะคะที่มี passion ที่อยากจะเป็นนักบินหรือว่าชื่นชอบมีความฝันอยู่แล้วก็อยากจะให้มาทำตามความฝันค่ะเพราะว่ามันก็ไม่ได้ยากเกินในความสามารถของเราที่จะทำได้ค่ะก็ถ้าใครสนใจก็ไม่ว่าจะจบจากคณะอะไรมาจบจากเมืองนอกจากโรงเรียนนานาชาติหรือไม่ได้จบวิทย์คณิตมาหรือไม่ได้เป็นเด็กที่เรียนเก่งอะไรมากมายก็คือเราอย่าเพิ่งไปเหมือนปิดกั้นตัวเองตรงนั้นค่ะก็ขอให้แบบลองมาแบบ apply ดูค่ะแล้วก็มาดูว่าเราทำได้ไหมค่ะขอให้มีความแบบใจพร้อมที่จะมาเรียนค่ะ
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome, pleasure.
All right, so today we had to get to know a lot more about the aviation industry and, of course, the courses involved. A lot of people might not know what it takes to become a pilot. Today, we've been able to talk to one of the recently graduated students and get to know the excitements, the future career paths of becoming a pilot and how to become one. So for those of you interested, I would definitely consider the Rangsit University Aviation Institute. This now brings us to the end of the ASEAN interview for this week. I'm Alyssa Sutiwong. Thanks for watching. Sawadee ka. And there you go, that was the ASEAN interview for this week. And with that, we wrap up ASEAN Challenge. Thanks for tuning. As for now, Sawadee ka.
Sawadee ka.